Welcome back guys to another lighted sky video. This is the second part of the sun series. If you haven't watched the first video, don't worry, the link should be appearing now on the top right corner of your screen, or you can get the link in the description. I suggest you guys first watch the first part as there I spoke about its properties, like what is it made up of and how does it affect us and many other things. If that's done, let's start. In the first video, we saw the role of sun's energy for life on Earth and what are its physical and chemical properties, and also we got to know the family of the sun. At first glance of any sun's picture will make you realize that it's a giant fireball. Sun, like the other stars in the galaxy, is also a gas ball made out of hydrogen and helium. It has no definite surface with nuclear fusion going inside the sun and that energy reaching us in the form of light energy. Before moving on further, hit that subscribe button and turn on the notification bell so that you don't miss my future videos. After learning about the exterior of the sun, let's get inside and see what are its layers. The layers of sun are core, radiative zone, convective zone, tachocline, photosphere and atmosphere. Each of them have their own properties. Let's start with the core. Core is the innermost 20 to 25% of the sun's radius, where the temperature is around 15.7 million Kelvin and pressure is sufficient for nuclear fusion to occur. Hydrogen fuses into helium. This fusion process releases energy and the helium gradually accumulates to form an inner core of helium within the core itself. The density of the core is around 150 gram per centimeter cube, about 150 times that of water, and 99% of the power is generated within 24% of the sun's radius, and by 30% the fusion has stopped entirely. The remaining of the sun is heated by this energy as it is transferred outwards through many successive layers. Finally to the solar photosphere, where it escapes into space through radiation or advection. The fusion rate in the core is in a self-correcting equilibrium, which means that a slightly higher rate of fusion would cause the core to heat up more and expand slightly against the weight of the outer layers, reducing the density and hence the fusion rate, and correcting the perturbation, and a slightly lower rate would cause the core to cool and shrink slightly, increasing the density and increasing the fusion rate and again reverting it to its present rate. Radiative zone. Convection cannot occur until much nearer the surface of the sun. Therefore, between about 20 to 70% of the radius, there is a radiative zone in which energy transfer occurs by means of radiation, that is photons, rather than by convection. The temperature drops from approximately 7 million to 2 million kelvins with increasing distance from the core. This temperature gradient is less than the value of the adiabatic lapse rate and hence cannot drive the convection. Because of this, the transfer of the energy through this zone is by radiation instead of thermal convection. So thermal radiation is the primary means of energy transfer. Convective zone. Between about 70% of the sun's radius and a point close to visible surface, the sun is cool and diffuse enough for convection to occur, and this becomes the primary means of outward heat transfer. Because the solar plasma is not dense enough or hot enough to transfer the heat energy of the interior outward via radiation, instead, the density of the plasma is low enough to allow convective currents to develop and move the sun's energy outward towards its surface. Similar to weather cells that form in the Earth's atmosphere, the thermal columns of the convection zone form an imprint on the surface of the sun, giving it an granular appearance called the solar granulation at the smaller scale and supergranulation at larger scales. Tachocline. The boundary region between the radiative and the convective zones. This is a region where the sharp regime change between the uniform rotation of the radiative zone and the differential rotation of the convective zone results in a large shear between the two, a condition where the successive horizontal layers slide past one another. Photosphere. The deepest part of the sun, which we can directly observe with the visible light. Beyond this layer, the sun becomes opaque. Because the sun is a gaseous object, it does not have a clearly defined surface, hence its visible parts are usually divided into photosphere and atmosphere. The photosphere is 10 to hundreds of kilometers thick and is slightly less opaque than air on Earth. We see this radiation from the photosphere as sunlight when it reaches Earth about 8 minutes after it leaves the sun. The temperature of the photosphere is about 1000 degrees Fahrenheit, which is about 5500 degrees Celsius. Atmosphere. Above the photosphere lie the tenuous chromosphere and the corona, which make up the thin solar atmosphere. This is where we see features such as sunspots and solar flares. It is a gaseous halo surrounding the Sun comprising the chromosphere, solar transition region, corona, and the heliosphere. This can be seen when the main part of the Sun is hidden, for example during a solar eclipse. During a total solar eclipse, when the disk of the Sun is covered by that of the Moon, parts of the Sun's surrounding atmosphere can be seen. The chromosphere, transition region, and corona are much hotter than the surface of the Sun. Above the chromosphere, in a thin transition region, the temperature rises rapidly from around 20,000 Kelvin in the upper chromosphere to coronal temperatures closer to 10 lakh Kelvin. The transition region is not easily visible from the Earth's surface. The corona is the next layer of the Sun. The corona is the extended atmosphere of the Sun, which has a volume much larger than the volume enclosed by the Sun's photosphere. A flow of plasma outward from the Sun into interplanetary space is the solar wind. Heliosphere. The volume of space controlled by the Sun's magnetic field is called the heliosphere. The teeniest outermost atmosphere of the Sun is filled with the solar wind plasma. The solar wind travels outward continuously through the heliosphere, forming the solar magnetic field into a spiral shape until it impacts the heliopause more than 50 AU from the Sun. Only two man-made objects have passed this region, and they are Voyager 1 and Voyager 2 probe. In December 2004, the Voyager 1 probe passed through a shock front that is thought to be part of the heliopause. In late 2012, Voyager 1 recorded a marked increase in cosmic ray collisions and a sharp drop in lower energy particles from the solar wind, which suggested that the probe had passed through the heliopause and entered the interstellar medium. Fact time: during early studies of the optical spectrum of the photosphere, some observation lines were found that did not correspond to any chemical elements then known on Earth. In 1868, Norman Lockyer hypothesized that these observation lines were caused by a new element that he dubbed helium, after the Greek sun god Helios. 25 years later, helium was isolated on Earth. Photons and neutrinos. High-energy gamma-ray photons, initially released with fusion reactions in the core, are almost immediately absorbed by the solar plasma of the radiative zone, usually after traveling only a few millimeters. Re-emission happens in a random direction and usually at slightly lower energy. With this sequence of emissions and absorptions, it takes a long time for radiation to reach the Sun's surface. Estimates of photon travel time range between 10,000 and 1,70,000 years. In contrast, it takes only 2.3 seconds for the neutrinos, which account for about 2% of the total energy production of the Sun, to reach the surface. Neutrinos are also released by the fusion reactions in the core, but unlike photons, they rarely interact with matter, so almost all are able to escape the Sun immediately. Magnetic field. The Sun has a magnetic field that varies across the surface of the Sun. Its polar field is 1 to 2 Gauss, whereas the field is typically 3000 Gauss in features on the Sun called sunspots and 10 to 100 Gauss in solar prominences. The magnetic field also varies in time and location. Sunspots are visible as dark patches on the Sun's photosphere and correspond to concentrations of magnetic field where the convective transport of heat is inhibited from the solar interior to the surface. As a result, sunspots are slightly cooler than the surrounding photosphere, so they appear dark. The Sun's magnetic field leads to many effects that are collectively called solar activity. The effects of solar activity on Earth include auroras at moderate to high altitudes and the disruption of the radio communications and electric power. Solar activity is thought to have played a large role in the formation and evolution of the solar system. Electric currents inside the Sun generate a magnetic field that spreads throughout the solar system. This field causes activity at the surface of the Sun, surging and ebbing in a regular cycle. At the peak of the cycle, the polarity of the field flips during a time of maximum sunspot activity. The Sun's magnetic field has two poles, like a bar magnet. The poles flip at the peak of the solar activity cycle every 11 years. A solar wind composed of charged particles carries the magnetic field away from the Sun's surface and through the solar system. That's the end of the second part of the Sun video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. In the upcoming third part, we will see how the Sun was born and what is its current state, and we will see what will be its future. And then we will see what was its early understanding by human beings and what were the major missions which were carried out and are being carried currently, and also the upcoming missions. Till then, keep enjoying, and if you haven't subscribed till now, hit that subscribe button and turn on the notification bell so that you won't miss the third video of this series and also my future videos about space. Thank you for watching another Lighted Sky video. Don't forget to check out my other videos.